Okay, next we're going to quickly texture our Totoro character. I'm going to do this as quickly as I can, so I'm going to go onto the internet and I'm going to find some images of Totoro, or maybe just one image. Let's go to images and let's go to, if we go to tools, we can find the largest images. Okay, so these will be this one here is 1200 by 800. This one is the same size. That one will probably do. Have a look at that. Yeah, that will do. So let's save that. So save image as, and we'll copy that into our source images folder. So we go to our Totoro project directory, source images, Totoro 0, save. That's good. We can shut down our web browser now. And we need to get have a look at his UV layout. So let's go to the UV editor in our workspace. And look, makes no sense whatsoever at the moment. So we'll just do a front projection just to sort these out. Okay, so he's facing towards the Z axis. So let's go, we can either go create here or create down here. If we click on this, we can do planar. Now the three mouse buttons correspond to X, Y, Z. So we press the right mouse button, look, that's a Z projection, like so. That's laid him out a bit better. So yeah, we should be able to do something with that. So we need to tidy up our image that we've downloaded. So in Photoshop, I'm going to load it into Photoshop. So open this. I need to go to my Google Drive, Totoro source images, and we'll load this up in here. And we need to tidy this up a little bit. Okay, we're going to do this fairly quickly. So I'm just going to crop some of this. I'm just using a marquee tool, like that, and image and crop. And let's just zoom in a bit. I'm just going to pick some of that color. You can use the clone tool for this if you want to, but I'm just going to pick some of that color, use the brush tool, bracket keys, just get rid of that. I'm just using the airbrush there. The whiskers, I probably don't want those appearing. We can maybe do those later. And I'm just gonna I'm doing this very quickly. I'll show you how quickly you can texture things. Let's just block all that out. I'm just going to use a hard edge brush just to block out this color. That's good, and sorry, I'm getting rid of you. I'll just use the I button to bring up the dropper so I can then get rid of this bit as well. Just to this should be fine. It's just to give us a basic kind of texture for our character. Just find the center line, and what we'll do, we'll copy this over, half of this across. That's cool. So let's just zoom out, and I'm going to use the marquee again. Where's that center line? It's about there. What you can do, look, if you drag out, I've got rulers displayed here from my view memory, so rulers turned on, and you can drag guides out from here. So look, if I find a guide there, and these are quite good because they snap. So look, if I just drag like that, and I'm going to then Control C, Control V, and that means I've made a duplicate of that. I'll just snap that there. Then I'm going to right click on it, free transform, right click again, and flip horizontally, like so. Then just press enter. Okay, and then I'm just going to crop that, like so. Now I want to make this square. It's best for textures to be square, otherwise it will kind of stretch them. Okay, so if I go image and canvas size, and I'll change this to pixels, and the height is the highest number, so I'll change this to the same as the height, 570. And then we're going to flatten this image like so, and make sure I've got the skin tone selected. Press the G key, make sure I'm in paint bucket mode, and just fill that in like so. I've just got some little glitches there. There's a little bit of JPEG artifacting, that little sort of like fuzziness there, but that's fine. We'll save this now. File, save scene as. So we save as. We'll overwrite the internet image. Make sure this is set to baseline standard. It's the format that Maya likes for JPEGs. Click on OK. We'll then go back to Maya. Okay, we want to assign a new material to Totoro. So we're going to object mode, right click on him, assign new material. Just a basic Lambert is absolutely fine. Okay. Go over here, look, the attribute editors come up with all our attributes to do with our character, and it's got the last one is the start of the shading network. There's lots of other tabs here. This is the sort of any kind of history that's on the object, and I've been playing about with projection, so there's a load of history, so that we can just get rid of that by in object mode, click on the blue clock. Suddenly we're just left with 3 tabs. So it just simplifies the attribute editor. We need to map to the color channel, so click on this little checker icon, and in the create render node, click on file, and then we've got to go and find the file, so click on the folder, and look, there's Totoro. Let's load that in, and that loads up absolutely fine. Now, if yours isn't showing up in here, you just need to press the 6 key to show the materials and the texture. So it's this little icon here. Okay, so if yours is just displaying grey, press 6. Okay, looking kind of okay with the default mapping. Let's bring up our UV toolkit. You'll see a problem around the back. He's got exactly the same texture on the back because this projection just goes straight through our character. So we'll sort that out. What we do, we'll pick those back faces. We're going to face mode, and we'll pick all those back faces like so, and make sure we just include that. So I'm holding Control Shift down. I think I've got them all selected. Look, that one there. It's hard to actually see in this view. What we can do is just turn off the materials, and that helps us. That's the 5 key, just goes back to just the default material mode, and that's good. We'll do a new projection on those, so that will separate them from the rest of the UV. So that if I just right click on planar, Z projection, let's just move this out of the way. Look, I'm just dragging this little yellow circle, move it over here. You can see it's still displaying the textures. This texture will tile infinitely into all these areas. So I can just leave this over here now. And then what I also want to do, I'm going to remove, I want to be able to move this about a bit. So I'm going to remove the arms and the legs from that UV projection. So that I'm just carefully selecting all of these. Try not to catch any other faces. And his ears as well. And I'll do another projection, so just a Z projection, and I can move those out of the way. So I've got those all over there. I can group these all together. If I go into UV shell mode, I can just move these all together so they're nice and close together. It's not such an issue with my texturing because I've got lots of space to put these in places. So I can pick all of these, press the R key, scale them down, and they can just sit there. As long as they're in the color I want, they will just display that skin tone. Okay, we can now do the same with this. So look, we can either select individual UVs and move individual points around like this, or we can go UV shell, pick the whole lot, scale it down, and bung it there. There you go, that's Totoro's textures done. We can just tweak this a little bit. You can see his nose is sort of low down. So if I pick this in UV shell mode again, I can scale it up if I want to a little bit. And just move it down a bit like this. And it's not too bad. Okay, it's very simple, very quickly done. But there is our Totoro textured. Okay, we'll have a look, just go back into the classic mode. Pick him in object mode. He's just got a little bit of history there to do with every single projection we do, it will generate history. Okay, so we'll delete that history, go back to the polymodeling shelf, make sure that history is deleted. And he is ready now to start rigging. So we'll save this again. So we've got him ready for the next stage, which is we'll put a rig in him so we can actually animate him.